Hey YouTube, it's Rarity, and this is my YCS report from Charleston. I ended up getting 66th place using Burning Abyss, and that's what I wanted to do. This was my first ever YCS, first of all, so it was a whole new experience. It was a lot of fun, and going into it, my only goal was to day 2. I wasn't playing on top 32 or anything like that. I hadn't even played Yu-Gi-Oh! And except for the weekend before, like that whole week coming up, everyone else that, is going, they're practicing and playtesting and getting their decks perfect. I didn't even touch my deck until that Friday when we got to the hotel, and I was like, well, better change this. I was still running all the traps, and, it was super slow and everything, and I was like, well, better make this deck pretty good, and I changed it, and I liked it a lot. I had a couple interesting techs and stuff like that, I guess, what I consider techs. But like I said, I got 66th place. I finished X3, and that's what I wanted to do. So I think I did pretty good for my first YCS anyway. The next one, I'm hopefully going to Chicago for my next one, and maybe there I'll top 32. We'll see. But the first part of this will be my deck profile, so check it out. Alright guys, so here's the deck I played at Charleston. Fairly standard 3, 3, 3, 3, and then, however, I only play 2 Rubik. I understand a lot, I think most of everyone actually plays 3. It was just like a tough cut, I guess you would say, is what I think I play a little bit more spells than the average BA player, so I had to only play him at 2. I didn't find a problem with it, however, though. I don't remember any points I was like, oh man, I really wish I had that 3rd Rubik right now. I searched him. Yeah, that's all it is. You just have to make sure you're always searching them or adding back or whatever you have to do. You can get him on the field. 2's plenty. I don't really think 3 is a necessity. I'm not saying 3's bad either, though. I was playing 1 Alec. He is only in there pretty much just so occasionally when I'm playing Clifforts I can make Acid Golem safely. And that's a terrible move, and I hate doing it, but sometimes you just have to. Double Farfa, I know a lot of people were playing 3. I think 2 is fine. I haven't playtested 3, and I understand that he is an amazing card. But again, going back to the thing with Rubik, I mean, you see him when you need to see him. And there was a lot of times I was, I detach a Farfa and mill the other Farfa anyway. So, I mean, but then I still get him back. It's all a matter of, you want to add guys like him and Rubik back to your hand with Dante most of the time. So, I don't know, I think 2's plenty. I was playing 2 Libic. Some people only play 1. I think it's absolutely ludicrous to only play 1. He sets up all kinds of plays. He makes triple Dante super easy. So that's all there is to it. And 1, whatever his name is, Cagna, the dog guy. He's okay. I mean, he's just controlled deck thinning is all it is, and another name, I guess. And then triple Maxi. Some people main deck Maxi, some people didn't. I really enjoyed having Maxi in the main, other than, of course, when I Maxi into a Maxi, which isn't terrible either, but just not exactly what I wanted. Those are all the monsters. It's like, I don't know, a whole bunch. 21 or something, maybe? I really don't know. Might be, actually, no, might be more than that. Then a bunch of spells. Triple MST, just necessity. Double enemy controller. I wish I ran 3. I only had 2. I pre-registered on Friday because I did want the token, as a memento of my first YCS. And I only had 2 at the time. And really, really wish I had 3. This card beats Clifforts. That's all there. I mean, anything really. But Clifforts is, a really hard matchup for this because if they have an established board of things that are just stronger than your monsters, you need a way to take them. Double Twister. This was something, it was my own little personal tech, I guess, putting in the main anyway. And my idea about putting this in the main is that you're gonna win your Cliff Fort matchups, you're gonna win your Satellar Knight matchups, and then but also it's really good against things like Vanity's Emptiness. I'm trying to think of other things. You know, just anything that's a continuous card, and there's just a lot of them right now. So I mean, I never had a problem with these, other than them being MST'd or something, which, you know, would, if there was an MST. Basically, it's just an additional MST, and so I don't know, I liked it. And then a shitload of 1-ofs. Snatch Steal, it just steals games. I don't know why people don't main it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Same with Raigeki. Like I said, if I opened this against Cliff Forts, I won. I never opened this, and well, I did lose games to Cliff Forts, but I never lost a match to Cliff Forts. But if I open this, then turn 2 I gamed them. Really same thing with Snatch Steal too. You can, it's just, if you see this, as soon as you see that, you win that turn or the turn after. Same thing with Raigeki. Book of Moon destroys the mirror, and also gets around things like Mask Change 2. You can, I think, I gotta read things. But anyway, pretty sure it has to be a face-up monster. But I don't know, it's just one of the most powerful spells right now. Foolish Burial. This card is basically anything you want it to be right now. Allure of Darkness. This card was okay. You know, I don't know, I've always kind of been iffy on Allure. Soul Charge. It was, this card was also okay. It helped me set up some ridiculous opening boards sometimes, but at the same time, I don't know, I felt like I could have done, I don't know, it could have been something better. And then I played 1 rank up Astral Force. This card was pretty good. It set up a lot of plays for me, it's just more of a distraction, like, you know, just give your opponent too many things to try to deal with, and I don't know, I liked it. Then I just played triple Fire Lake, and those were on with 3 traps. Some people just playing this and Vanities, or there's that one guy who played 2 of this, 2 of Vanities, and 2 of Phoenix Wing. But I felt for the most part this was pretty good. I liked how everything was set up. I do gotta say I wish I had a Dark Hole in there, maybe. I don't know, I feel like Dark Hole's kind of underestimated in this format. So going on to my very confusing to look at extra deck, I have 3 Dantes. I'll just hold them up so you can see them, because I put the stupid sleeves on because I was bored. 1 Giga Brilliant. Giga Brilliant was pretty cool. You could make a whole board of Burning Abyss monsters and then tour guide into him, or even if you could just somehow not tour guide into him, but still make one of the pieces Farfa, and then detach, power all your guys up, and banish one of your opponent's monsters at the same time, and it just set up for OTKs. I didn't summon them too often, but I mean, I did summon them. Alucard, I think I summoned him once during Satellar Knights, but I don't really remember. I think they just had like a whole bunch of back row, and I was like, I gotta start getting rid of some of this. Acid Golem, like I said, you have to make him well, also, he's also in there for the OTK as well. You clear your opponent's board and go Dante, Acid Golem. It's really easy to summon 3 monsters. So, I mean, he's in there for that, which is super important. I did that numerous times. 1 Nightmare Shark, I used him once. Won me a game. 1 Tempo, actually never made him. 2 Downers, I rarely use them, but I did use them. I remember one game I had to make double because I think it was against Cliff Forts, and I didn't want them to stealth my Dantes, stealth and carrier and all that bull, so I just make double Downer because I just had to be in a position to win the game next turn. 1 Pleiades, which I don't know, you probably can't tell, but no, I picked up the DT one. I actually got it for some Ultra Mind Crushes, which was pretty cool. But like I said, he was really cool. And even better than him was M7. This card, okay, so I was running Snatch Steal, and then 2 econs. So whenever a Satellar Knight player would summon Diamond on me, I would steal their monster, swing with it, especially if it was econ. I would swing. They're like, oh, well, I don't want to deprison my own monster, so I'm not, you know, I'm just gonna wait, and then during the end phase I'll get it back, and then main phase 2 I'll drop this. I remember one player was so salty, like he was angry that I was winning. I econned his diamond, swung with it. It had like 20 materials on it, and he was like, okay, whatever, I'll take that. You know, he had like 10 back row, but he's like, whatever, I'll eat that. And I'm like, alright, main phase 2, drop this, and I tried to, I never actually resolved it, its effect anyway, because I tried to add a tour guide back, and he Fiendish chained it, and then eventually I think I got an MST and hit the Fiendish chain, and it was just, he had a diamond on board that I think had no materials left, and I had, I just had this guy, and then I had I had a tour guide and a whole bunch of BA monsters, man, that's what it was. And so I played him hard. He had the Fiendish chain and 1 set back row. So I MST'd the chain, and then when he tried to, oh yeah, and then I tried to activate M7's effect again, and he Nova'd it, and so he destroyed my M7, so he cleared my board, and then I was like, alright, tour guide, summon a bajillion BA monsters, game. And so it just, it was just really good to bait everything they had out, because they weren't, I don't know, just makes your opponent, like I said, it raises the salt levels really high, because you're taking their monster and making it your own, and then you, they want to deal with the M7, they don't want to deal with your deck. When one Gaia Dragon, I never summoned him, and I don't know if I'm going to keep him. I need to do, like I said, I haven't really been playtesting. I just kind of threw a bunch of cards in here, but I don't know, I might keep him. 2 Virgils, because he's just, I don't think I ever summoned 2. You only play 2 in case 1 gets bottomless, and that's about it. Or if you can't get to a Seer, but I don't think that ever happened. Going on to my side deck, 2 Majesty's Fiend. Can't think of actually when I don't think I ever summoned him. I sided him a few times. I don't think I ever saw it though. I milled it. 3 Puppet Plant. He was good in the mirror. I probably will only play 2 though. 3 is just kind of unnecessary. 2 Breakthrough Skill. This is good for Diamond and Dark Wall. 2 Vanity's Emptiness. That's good in the mirror. I think that's all that I would really cite it for. 2 Fairy Wind. That's good for Cliff Forts. 2 Geometrios, which are really good for a lot of things. It's good for the mirror. It's good for Cliff Forts. You know, just anything that's gonna build a big, massive board. I guess it's really just good for those 2 decks. But I played a lot of those. Yeah, you just want to be able to control their board and tame their OTK. And I just kind of threw these in there because I wanted to go I wanted to go pre-register, so I just went ahead and threw Karma Cuts in there, pretty much just because they're ulti and beautiful. They're pretty good in this mirror match, however I never saw them ever, so oh, I guess they're good against the Tellers too, but I don't remember if I sided them against the Tellers or not. But this is my deck. I will be doing some additional tweaks and stuff on there. Like I said, I really wish I had played another Econ. I wish I played BLS. My friend Jordan talked me out of it at the last minute. He's like, oh, BLS is too slow and blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, but I love BLS. And then there's, I think the top 8 Brain Abyss player was playing BLS, I'm pretty sure. So I'm like, fuck you, Jordan, playing BLS. And then, other than that, like I said, I'm thinking about Dark Hole. It's like kind of the same theory with Raigeki. If I open Raigeki, I beat Cliff Forts. That's all there was to it. So if I open Dark Hole, I should also beat Cliff Forts because it doesn't hurt my deck. So I don't know. Got a lot of playtesting to do, And if I decide not to be lazy and actually do that, I might actually find out how those cards work. But let me know what you think about this deck. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about my matchups and stuff like that. I didn't want to go into specifics or anything, but I did want to say that I beat every Clifford player that I played and every Satellar player I played. I lost 2 BA mirrors and 1 Shadal match. Those were my 3 losses. And honestly, I haven't even played Shadals in like a month before that. So like, I just had no real recent playtesting with the deck, and the Mask Change 2, that's what it was. The power of that with El Shadal Fusion combined, 2 quick play spell cards, and the fact that that was my last round on day 1, and I was at that point, because I'd been like having a migraine build up the entire day, and that's where it finally peaked in my last match, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it, and I misread the card, and I thought that a Mask Change 2 sent the monster to the graveyard as cost. I didn't realize it just targeted for cost, and I had an econ set, so I could have disrupted the play and possibly won that game. But you live and learn, and you try not to have a migraine during a YCS. I guess that's my little tidbits of helpful knowledge. But like I said, you know, overall it was a great experience. There was one thing in one of the BA mirrors where I let a player take back a move, and that was round 7, and it wasn't really letting. I don't know. I guess I could have been. Yeah, I let him take back the move, but like I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I resolved a Fire Lake. I targeted one of his monsters and blew it up. And then I was activating my grave effects, and he says, "Oh wait, let me activate Mask Change 2 on my monster that you targeted." And but he like didn't do it slowly. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that," and then like summoned Dark Law and already had like everything. He did everything before I could say yes or no or anything, and it was a little bit of stupidity and arrogance, because I looked at my hand, I was like, I got this anyway. I don't care. Do your thing. And I ended up not having it. So don't let anybody take back a play ever. That's what I knew that. It's not that I learned that. And don't ever think that don't ever think you can do it. Just play right. No takebacks. You do what you do. If you mess up, you mess up. That's how it is. And like then later in a different game, he tried to I forgot why, but like a Dante hit a graveyard, and I added back Groff, and then I was like, alright, special summon Groff in defense position, set a card, it was Fire Lake, and then I was like in phase, I'm searching my deck for Scarm, he's like, alright, cool, and then I'm sitting there searching, picking up my card, he's like, oh wait a minute, I wanted to max see your Groff. I'm like, no, you're not going to get that, thanks for letting me know one of your cards are max C. But yeah, he was just, I don't know if he was nervous or what. I mean, because there was another point in the day when I did forget to max see someone at the right time, and you know, it cost me that game anyway. And I don't know. I mean, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You know, unless you're like playing your buddy. And you're like, hey, can I take it back? And they're like, sure, whatever. But if they say no, then that's it. That's all there is to it. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said, overall, happy with my experience. Can't wait for Chicago and whatever else that I may be going to. I have I don't know. I've been working on my new pasta deck. Dark Hole a lot. I don't know. Because whenever I drew Raigeki, I beat it. If I opened that, I won. So I'm thinking maybe take out the blisters. But anyway, I guess this is it for this video. As always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.